So we're going to get started. My name is Aaliyah Forrest. I'm the Director of Business Strategy for the Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion. And today we're here to celebrate the third round of Space Grant awardees. Yay! If you are a Space Grantee, raise your hand. Oh, yeah. There are 32 of you this round, and we almost gave out $3 million, so just hitting that amount. So congratulations to all of you. Before we hear from our chief and our mayor, I'd like to kick it to the owner of this space, Danny's Queer Bar, Thais Rocha. She was an awardee from the first round of Space, and she just recently opened, and you get to experience Danny's Queer Bar today. So thank you for hosting us today, Thais. You want to come on up?
All right. Hi, everyone. So my name's Thais. It's not Danny, like everyone thinks it is. But yeah, no, so the Space Grant was, I think, one of the most important things that happened to us. We didn't have any outside investors and anything like that, so it was difficult. But with the Space Grant, we were able to kind of cross the finish line and get the space open. Took us about a year and 8 months, so it was important. So everyone who has it, congratulations. I'm sure you all deserve it because you're here today. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you, Thais. And now I want to introduce my tireless boss, Chief Idowu, to share a few remarks.
Good morning, everyone. No. Good morning, everyone. I'm just saying, there are like 150 people cramped in this space to celebrate a really important announcement, a really important progress here in the city. So again, my name is Shagun Idowu. I use he, him pronouns. It has been a pleasure for, and the mayor's tired of hearing me say this, but it's now 1,046 days serving as the Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion. And I'm very happy that day 1,046 is spent here at Danny's Queer Bar for such a really amazing program and to celebrate great entrepreneurs like Thais and so many others that are here this morning. So we're grateful that all of you are here to join us today. As you know, I like to make sure to thank folks. I did not do any of this work. I'm mostly here to say that folks like Aaliyah and others did, and to be grateful for them. And so I just want to call out a lot of the folks that helped to make this program possible. So I've got the members of the review committee who are here. So in addition to Aaliyah, you've got Daniel, Lander, Alicia, Donald, Emily, Patrick, who's here with us, Corrine Reynolds, Rachel, and Peter, who selected all the space grantees that are here with us today. And then other members of the mayor's team. I saw Chief Mariangeli Sola Severa earlier, Chief Malor, who's here, and then Julianne, the ED of the Office of LGBTQ Advancement, and Don Asia, who's joining us, and who else from the city is here? Are there other folks in the city that are here that I forgot to? Oh, Gisela from BLDC. Who else we got? Simon from BLDC too, right? All right. They give out money, so if you're an entrepreneur, these are the folks to talk to. And then all of our partners who are here in the room, and if I miss you, I apologize, but I want to call out Bob and team from SBA, Michael Nichols from the BID, Meg Miser-Cohen, who could not be here today, but she's from the Back Bay Association to provide support to folks like Thais and all the businesses here. And then, of course, we're joined by our tireless advocates at the state level, Rep. Livingstone and Rep. Moran, and then, of course, our wonderful Councilor Sharon Durkin, who are with us. So you can clap for them, too. All right. Now my speech begins. Just kidding. All I'll say is it's been a pleasure for the last year to stand up for moments like these to honor and appreciate all of the entrepreneurs that we've been able to support through this program. I don't know if Aaliyah said this already about how many, and
32.
Okay, so there's 32 in this round, but overall, and the mayor will chat about this later as well, but 90 entrepreneurs throughout the life of this program, $10 million. But the real thing that I am very happy to share, someone said earlier that this was too much money to be giving out to entrepreneurs, which was an odd statement to make, that taxpayers should see their money, spent in other ways. But I'll just say, I think for all the taxpayers in this room, I think, are we happy that this program existed to support? And I see John Hurst joining us as well. So just to say that the reason why I think that this was a value add and why this was $10 million too few dollars, if we had even more money, we'd put more money in this program to support entrepreneurs, because this is not just helping the businesses. 600 new jobs created in just the first two rounds. So we'll see what the third round does. Finally, I will just end by saying in my introduction of the mayor, so this program was developed as a result of talking with entrepreneurs. This was not concocted in some room in City Hall of like, oh, this might be a nice thing to do. This was because we were hearing from folks on the street. You heard even Thais say that there was no investment. So the city investment helped to make something like this possible, Danny's Queer Bar possible, and there are 89 others who will tell you the same thing. This came from hearing what's being heard in the community, but also a directive and a prerogative from the mayor to address injustice and inequalities here in our city. If you were to look at the program, those 90 businesses reflect what this room looks like right now and what our city looks like. The fact that 75% of entrepreneurs that got this grant are identify as people of color, 65% women. And this was in response to something that I know the mayor has heard and that certainly drives the work of the Economic Opportunity and Inclusion Cabinet, something that Bayard Rustin said so many years ago, that to accept an injustice is to perpetuate it. And what we have seen happen for too long in this city is that massive dollars will come in, and when they go out, they don't always go to the communities that they're meant to go to. And so what we're proud of for this program, as part of the larger amount of money that the city has handled under this mayor's leadership through ARPA and other buckets, they've gone to the communities that need this support the most. And so that's why I'm very happy to bring up to the stage someone who, again, believes in the words of Bayard Rustin that the real proof that you believe is in your action. And I think that this administration, certainly through what we've done for entrepreneurs, for people of color, so many others in the city, can say that we're not about just talking the talk, we're about walking the walk as well. So with that, I will introduce my boss and your mayor and our friend, the Mayor Michelle Wu.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am delighted. Okay. Is this, sometimes it's too much feedback if you're too far away, sometimes it's too close. Okay, I'm gonna try to go from here. We all know what the outside world feels like these days and how exhausting it can be to have to absorb all the stresses that our families are under from, sometimes it feels like, every direction. Our goal at the city, before last week, before 2 weeks ago, just as true now, is to make Boston a home for everyone. And that means having, of course, affordable housing that is safe and healthy and welcoming, but it's also making sure people feel at home in all the other spaces that we need as human beings, as community members. It's the parks and libraries and community centers, and it's in this critical infrastructure of small businesses that, in fact, when you ask most residents of the city, what makes you feel like you belong or what makes you love the neighborhood that you live in, 9 out of 10 or maybe even more would say it's this coffee shop that I go to all the time. It's this restaurant that I always meet up with my friends at. It's this bookstore that I love to go to. And so I want to thank all of our small business owners and our business owners who are in the room for making our city a home and putting that special magic with all your heart into making Boston the city that we are. Thank you, thank you. It's been a blessing for me to be able to work with dedicated leaders in City Hall who refuse to accept that things have to be how they always had been. And you heard a little bit of that in Chief Idawu's description of how this program came into being and the goals and the accomplishments. But you could apply that across nearly every department in how funding has gone out and how programs have been created for housing, for jobs, for education, for safety, for open space. And not only is it a charge that we have, I think, carried out department by department, more than ever before, what I'm proud of is that our administration represents a type of collaboration that is also more intense, more focused, and relentless in making sure we're creating the interconnections between all of the work that's happening at the city. The space grants are really a good example of that. It's not only been about figuring out who needs resources on the small business side and getting that out the door. It's partnerships with the downtown bid, with Retailers Association, and with all of the other, the chamber and others who have also then doubled down in providing their additional support and resources for these entrepreneurs. So because we know the generational impact that happens when small businesses really can put down their roots in the community. So I want to thank again Michael and John and all of our partners who couldn't be here on the business side for doubling down on what it means for our local anchor neighborhood businesses to have a bit of that support as well. Thank you to all of our team members across the various teams that are assembled here. We know that the type of work we've been able to do using federal dollars also stands out compared to what other cities have been able to do. Thanks to sound fiscal management and years of Boston being on a solid foundation, we were able to make every bit of value happen from those dollars, not just plugging holes in budgets of maintaining the level of services that we were providing, but really adding new infrastructure and investing in ways that will have an impact for years to come. From housing to the space grants to other programs supporting our local economic development and bringing people together, Boston has been able to prove for the last 3 years that we are the shining example of how to get things done in government and how to make sure that community is coming together to be the proof of what's possible. And more than ever, we're going to need to continue that. I want to thank, again, Thais and the entire team for welcoming us today and also for being that kind of example. I've been following with delight all the national coverage, which shows that not only is Danny's Queer Bar a space that community members here locally have been dreaming of, but it really represents a need nationally. And, when you're on SNL, it comes with the good, the good and the bad, but it shows you've made it and that you are serving as that bright light that so many others are also aspiring to. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of folks from other cities coming, taking notes so that they can then also bring that back to create this kind of home in their respective communities as well. So we're so proud that Boston's first lesbian bar in more than 2 decades is now right here in Back Bay. And we've heard from so many residents how much it means to have a space for queer joy, where it feels good to be queer and a person of color on Boylston Street. And at the city, we're proud to have been able to partner and play a small part in making this hopefully a little bit easier. I know that's never easy to be a small business owner, but recognizing how much is being poured into these spaces, we wanted to just close that last gap for the businesses that have been part of our Space Grant program. Because helping entrepreneurs like Thais grow their dreams and create more of the places that our communities are dreaming of makes our neighborhoods feel like home. We first announced the Space Grant program in December of 2022. As Chief Iru said, his cabinet took on the creation, the infrastructure building, mapping out of every logistical detail in response to feedback from Boston small business owners because they were continuing to struggle coming out of the pandemic. Broken supply chains, rising construction costs, and decreased demand were taking a toll on everyone, but especially on the workers and families whose lives depended on serving a community that was just beginning to come out of isolation. And in under 2 years, as you heard, we've been able to provide nearly $7.5 million to more than 60 local small business owners, helping them expand or open their doors for the very first time. Today, we're here to celebrate the third and final round of Space Grant recipients. And I say we very expansively here, because although this is a program that has been led and spearheaded by one cabinet, it really represents the pride of all of City Hall. It represents the collaboration from our incredible City Council colleagues. So thank you to Councilor Durkin for her role in funding. She actually led the COVID Recovery Committee, which allocated the funds and made those decisions. Thank you to our state partners, Jay and John, and all of the state legislative Boston delegation for also doubling down on making sure that we could have the support to make this possible in the city. And to all of our funding partners who are here from the SBA and all of our lenders and all of our community members, thank you. We will feel the results through this third round in 32 new businesses across 11 neighborhoods. From pho, Jamaican oxtail, and bubble tea, to custom clothing, local journalism, family childcare, these businesses are bringing excitement and energy and essential services to vacant storefronts in commercial districts across our city. Thank you again to the Downtown Boston Bid, who's also one of this round's recipients, because they have helped many of our former grantees and our current grant winners find their perfect home in the spaces that they are going to build out. Altogether, our Space Grants program will have provided $10 million from American Rescue Plan Act funding from the Biden-Harris administration to more than 90 local businesses to help cover startup and overhead costs, in addition to technical assistance and support to help them grow. As you heard also, I'm going to double down to make sure that we are recognizing the true impact of this program. 3/4 of our Space Grant recipients are business owners of color. 65% of our Space Grant recipients are women, and 100% of them are strengthening our neighborhoods, creating jobs, changing lives, and making Boston a better home for everyone. So thank you once again to our Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion, Brooke, Jim, and John as our partners in the wider business world, for all of our applicants and entrepreneurs, community members, supporters, for helping us make sure that these 90 local businesses will be there for years to come in our neighborhoods. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing your vision, talents, and passion with us. So now I want to just invite up my colleagues in elected office to say a quick word as well. So we'll start with Councilor Durkin and then toss it to our state reps.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wu. And I knew you couldn't taste test the great cocktails at Danny's, so I was here on Saturday. To try, and I heard someone as they were walking past me say, "This is for us." And it is for us. It's for everyone. I think this space in particular, it speaks to the diversity of the businesses that we need on Boylston Street. It speaks to the diversity of our communities here in Boston. And I had a lot of fun here, I have to say, and thank you to all of your work. It's every single local business that is funded through this program has a deep impact on the neighborhoods that they represent, that they care for. And I was honored to see Colin Daly here from the Hummus Shop, who I know had a long journey to get from food truck to brick and mortar store on Charles Street. But I'm so honored. I got the chance to walk past. He was slinging falafel on the sidewalk on Charles Street. And we had, I am so excited to have a concept on Charles Street that is really going to enliven the neighborhood. We didn't have a fast casual restaurant on Charles Street, if you can believe it, that did hummus and falafel and Mediterranean food. And I've heard nothing but great reviews. So I hope that you all will go try. And I've been really honored to be the chair of COVID-19 recovery. When it was given to me as a committee, it was supposed to be the sleepiest committee. As a new counselor, they were like, you can have this committee that is going to be pretty sleepy. We've already done most of the ARPA funding, but we got the chance to fund a last round of space grant funding, And that was really what provided the urgency to get that passed. We were hearing directly from you, local business owners, that you had gotten through every step of the process, but you needed us to pass those funds through the city council. And we were happy to do it, and we're so happy you're here today. Businesses like Danny's Queer Bar, businesses like the Hummus Shop, and looking through the list of over 30 businesses, I'm really, really excited to go throughout the city and try all of your concepts. We're just so excited for you. We're so excited for the city. And that liveliness and vibrancy that you're bringing to our neighborhoods should be celebrated, and we can't wait to celebrate with you. So I'm excited to welcome up my colleague in government, Rep. Jay Livingstone.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm Jay Livingstone. I'm the state representative for this part of Boston. I actually live around the corner, and it's been great to see this bar come back and re-enliven this space. During COVID, before COVID, this entire section was just hopping on a Saturday night, and that has gone away, and then it's come back. And so I really appreciate you for bringing liveliness back to our neighborhood, and for the mayor and for Councilor Durkin and Sagoon for bringing this program to help make that happen. And that's one example, and I can't wait to hear about all the other examples of the great work that all of you are doing to re-enliven Boston from the ground up, some of the smallest businesses, and I can't wait to see how you grow. So thank you, Mayor, for having this program, and Councilor Durkin for funding it. I'm looking forward to hearing about all these great stories, and I'll turn it over to my colleague, State Representative John Moran.
Thanks, Rep. Livingstone. I'm John Moran. I'm the state rep for Suffolk District 9, which is just across the street, and also a little bit of Back Bay, the library, et cetera. And so I'm really thrilled to be here. I noticed my partner reminded me last weekend that I'm gaining a little weight, and I said, well, that's because I go to places like in Dorchester, like DJ's Market, and in our own neighborhood now, Leo and Perla have opened Cacao, which is the Cacao South End, which is amazing chocolates and just, but I think more than the food, it's really the cultural diversity that this is bringing into our neighborhood to make sure that we are honoring our various cultures in our multicultural city. And so that's really exciting for the South End. I also want to just say to Danny, as an LGBTQ plus legislator, the first elected from the South End, I think having this bar is really important, and I know a lot of people are really excited in my neighborhood to visit here. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief Idoo. I know he's a television star now, but he did still greet me at the door. Thank you. I'm really humbled by that. But thank you very much, and yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, State Reps. Thank you, Councilor Durkin. A few other quick highlights of businesses who received grant funding. There are a couple businesses here that actually are able to come back from closing due to COVID. And I just wanted to shout out Nubian Notion and Nubian Square. Haley House, I'm sure you miss them. I do. And also wanted to thank there's free memberships that all of the space grantees receive by being a grantee with this program. That's with Retailers Association of Massachusetts. There is the Associated Industries of Massachusetts, AIM, and the Chamber of Commerce, Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce. So those are really important memberships for all you grantees because you get to network with each other, and they put on a lot of great programs that you get to attend for free, which is awesome. So for more highlights, we have two businesses that are going to share a little bit more about what they plan on doing with the space grant and who they are. So I'm proud to introduce first Marcia Satchel, owner of Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant, which will be in Mattapan, and then Eat Pho Tran Lay, who will also speak. Marcia.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am certain all the grantees can join me when I say that this is a very big deal, and we're so appreciative. And I'm honored this morning to stand before you to share a little bit about Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant and what the space grant means to me and my business. Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant shares the love of the Blue Mountain section of Portland, Jamaica, in all its tropical beauty. We want to share the authentic ways food is prepared with all the natural spices, herbs, and various seasonings. The vision of Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant is to bring people together from all cultures through the art of cooking, because cooking is an art, to the art of cooking flavorful, healthy meals, offering various choices, including vegan, vegetarian, and Caribbean dishes. As a result, we set out in this mission full of love, passion, and consistently give our customers the authentic flavor their taste buds deserve. Here are some of the items you will find at our restaurant. Jerk chicken, which is very popular, oxtail, curry goat, stew chicken, curry chicken, jerk wings, vegans and vegetarian options, baked salmon, snapper, brown stew, and escabeche. Grilled cheese oxtail sandwich, a fresh salad bar, various other dishes, tropical drinks, and we will be introducing a variety of in-house healthy juices and drinks. We offer gelato and sorbet that comes in various flavors, and for the first time in Boston, grape nut gelato. It's pretty exciting. We just reopened, thank you. We just reopened on November 5th at our new location at 1301 Blue Hill Avenue, Mattapan, between Blue Hill Avenue and Wellington Hill. And the reception has been amazing with the people in the community and others who have supported us. They've embraced us with love and support, and we so appreciate that. We're located right at the bus stop, which is easy access through driving as well as public transportation. With our menu, we welcome everyone to dine in with us or take out. We welcome you to make Blue Mountain your go-to destination for some good eats. Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant became a staple of the Boston culinary scene. Our secret ingredient is love. That means from the moment you walk into our restaurant, you will feel love. The food is prepared with love, and you will taste the love that it brings to you that will bring you to a happy place. Furthermore, in this growing health-conscious society, we're here to play our part ensuring our customers eat to live. You can find us on all social media platforms at Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant. Our website is currently being updated. We offer services as well, catering services as well, rather. You can call us at 617-533-7255 to place your order or to pick up. And again, we're at 1301 Blue Hill Avenue in Mattapan. So what does a space grant mean to us and to Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant? I want to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to the City of Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, and her entire amazing team, the Business Strategy Mayor's Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion, for selecting Blue Mountain Jamaican Restaurant to be a recipient of the Space Grant. This support couldn't have come at a more crucial time for our business as we embarked on this exciting journey of reopening our new location. This grant represents far more than just financial assistance. It symbolizes renewed opportunity. Being closed for approximately 11 months as we waited for our new space to complete. With this space grant, we now have the resources to help us defray the cost of expenses of reopening this new location. The space grant is one of the many wonderful resources the City of Boston offers to small businesses, letting us know for sure that the City of Boston wants us to succeed as a small business. Our city sees us as a small business. Our city is concerned about our progress as a small business owners. Our city means what it says about economic opportunity and inclusion. Thank you, Mayor Wu. Thank you to the entire team that supports the vision of the mayor. I believe I can say for all the Space Grant recipients, when I say we appreciate you, we thank you. Continue to do the amazing work that you're doing to support your constituents who are the people. Thank you.
And thank you, Marcia, for making us all very hungry. I just want to start by saying that I'm proud to be a part of this city. Having been in the restaurant business for 3 decades in Boston, our family started off, we started at the forefront of Vietnamese cuisine in the Boston area. From offering only noodle soup on the menu in the Chinatown area in a very small restaurant, to expanding our menu to more exotic offerings now. We have a location, a sister location, Follet, in Dorchester that offers a lot of, things that you guys might want to try. Don't be hesitant to ask for recommendations. But with the help of this grant, we're glad to be able to make it full circle and to return to Chinatown with a new location soon. Observing Boston over the decades, I notice and appreciate a very unique aspect of the city. Boston is a major metropolitan city known worldwide, but it also offers the benefits of a small town in the aspect of allowing its constituents and everybody who interacts with it a voice to be heard and prioritizing a sense of community. There's still and always a lot to do, but Boston has always evolved towards improvements for all the people who interact with it. Thank you to Mayor Wu and all who work for the city for all of your ongoing and continuing hard work. Thank you.
All right, before we get all the grantees up here to get a photo with the mayor and a big giant check, I want to give some final thank yous to our state legislature for passing the liquor licensing initiative. We heard from 3 restaurant owners today, and by having a liquor license, it increases their chances of becoming our next legacy businesses, which is another program that our office has. And we hope all of you stay open for 10 years or more, since from getting your space grant until the future, and we will patronize all of them throughout the years. So thank you, all of you, for being here. Congratulations again. And if you are a space grantee, let's make room for a giant photo. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, done. Outside. Outside, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna go outside. There's not...
It makes a lot of sense.
Little telephone.
We will make sure that... Go ahead.